Hello and welcome to my channel, Say Something with Mads once again. Today we are doing this session live. I am from Dubai and I have my guest today, Teena Sahu, who is from Delhi. She's joining from Delhi. Hi, Tina, how are you doing?
Hello, ma'am, and hello everybody in this who's joining us in this live broadcast. And I'm doing well. It's just temperatures are very low over here, so it's quite freezing over here. So yeah, everything is
Oh,
fine over here.
that's nice to hear because I told you I'm speaking from Dubai, but today it's raining here. It's cloudy, so it's something very unusual. So on this, I would not say sunny morning, but cloudy and breezy morning, I welcome once again Tina to my channel. So this channel is all about youth and Gen Z. I bring youth on this channel week after week from across the globe to entertain, inform, and inspire each other. So the idea is the power of connection and power of communication. Raise your voice and raise your spirits. So, I would like to tell you how I met, how I came to know about Tina. She is someone whom I followed from the social media. I was browsing through YouTube and I saw a small clip from Intel where a young 17-year-old has designed an app for uh, finding out mental depressions, right? So using AI. So I went through that clip and I shared that clip with all my friends, and they all were wowed. Okay, such a young girl is doing so much. So since then I wanted Tina to be on this channel, and Tina is a role model for everybody. As we go through this interview, we would know her better and her work. So Tina, over to you to tell me who Tina is and take us through your journey from your childhood to now, your teenage years, and what have you been doing?
Okay, so hey everybody, I'm Teena Sahu, a 19-year-old cheerful, tenacious, and ambitious girl. And currently, I'm pursuing my bachelor's in computer science from the University of Delhi. And I often like to describe myself in the alignment of the meaning of my name. So, my name Teena means clay. And just like one can mold clay into any shape, I try my best to mold myself as per the changing circumstances. And therefore, I really appreciate this thing in me. And yes, I am. I love to live my life like with full optimism, and I love to read books. So I keep reading on books. I love to read books on cosmology, universe, astronomy. I love to read some self-development novels as well, and I prefer reading classic novels as well. Apart from this, I love coding. I love to do dance, and I sing sometimes. So yeah, my if I talk about my childhood, so I was brought up in a very middle class family, like a family whose income was like less than mediocre. And since then, my parents, like since my birth, my parents always wanted me to educate me to the best. Like they wanted me to give the quality education, the best education they can. And therefore they often out they push themselves out of their limits to give me and my younger sister the best education, a quality education, so that we can become what they weren't able to, so that
Mm,
we can become financially independent and financially stable, because we have faced financial instability in our lives many times. So that is why they always wanted us to become financially stable and financially independent, and therefore they always aim to give us quality education. But yes,
mhm.
just like everyone life is, my life was also full of trials and tribulations. And there were times when I was shattered from every aspect of my life. I was shattered mentally, socially, physically, emotionally, and not just me but my family as well. But I think there's a power, like within me and within my family, like that the power we share, like among us, my family members and me. So that power kept us going. It basically, it was our, I could say, a dhruv tara in this storms of our life. So yes, this is my life. If I want to keep it in very short, so this is how my life has been. And as I told everybody, that as I told you, that currently I'm pursuing my bachelor's in computer science from University of Delhi. And I aspire to become an IS officer, because I'm very much willing to serve my community, to serve my society by utilizing the skills, the values I have, the knowledge I've gained, and so that I can change landscape of certain things in the society, and I can uplift my society as like with as much
Mm,
determination as I can.
absolutely. Oh, wow. I am amazed at the way you nutshell you've put your life through the journey of your life. Economically, you were struggling and you had lots of struggle, which you overcame, as I know about it, and you had told me before. But I want our viewers to know about how did this that app which you designed, what was it that behind your mind that you thought it's a school project by Intel, right? So well, why did you choose this? Were you told to choose something on mental depressions, or you happen to have some motivation to do that? And why would you think that coding and AI is, did you have a passion for this earlier, or you developed it after you went through that project in school? Just take us through the journey of that designing that Intel app. Hey, Tina, you are there? Okay. I think we have some connection issues with Tina. Let her come back. And as you know, she is joining. She doesn't have a good network at her place, but there are no facilities which we all take it so much for granted. But in spite of that, this girl has so much courage to achieve her dreams, and especially especially joining. Yeah, she's back. Okay. Yeah,
Sorry,
Tina.
I'm so sorry. Actually, I got disconnected. There was a
That's
glitch
okay.
in my network.
That's okay. That's perfect. So, did
Yeah.
you get my question about that AI
No,
app?
I
Okay, okay, I will repeat. So, I wanted to take us through the journey of that Intel project which you did in school, and why did you choose mental depression, detecting mental depression in teens as your project, and what is that you achieved after that? Take us through that journey
okay.
of that project.
Yeah, sure. So back in 2019 when I was in my 10th standard, I like every other 10th standard student, I was expecting a certain percentage in my examinations, and I expected that I will get above 95%, like, but I don't know what happened, like there was some lack in my preparation. I got 93%, and because I got just 2% less than the expected percentage, i I actually, got into this depression phase of my life. I
Okay.
faced depression at you know at such, like, with such a severity that it still has, that it's still there, the remains of that depression is still in me. So after getting 93% in my boards, I started labeling myself as a burden, as not made for anything, as like, I cannot do it, I don't have confidence, and I don't deserve to, I do, and like, no societal thoughts were coming to my mind, but things were worse than that, this as well,
Deep,
because I
very,
was
very deep
living,
down. Mm,
yeah, exactly. I was living up with the worst feelings that I have in me. I surrounded myself in a box, and
mm.
like, the most negative things were coming to my mind. I actually validating each and everything in me, like, if I'm doing this thing, this will turn out to be wrong. I did not have confidence in doing even the simplest thing, like, if I was filling a water bottle, then I felt that I will drop this bottle down, I will drop this, like,
Oh, oh.
such, yes, so deeply my confidence was affected. And because of this, I faced depression for like for 1.5 year, because even after 2019 when COVID struck, so that COVID period was also a very bad phase for me. Was a very, terrible phase in my life, because my parents were unemployed, and they did not have any job, and I had to prepare for my entrance examinations. I had to prepare for my 12th boards, and I had to secure my future, like, for in terms of graduation. And in that time, I was, facing, and that time I did not get any tuition as well. I was not financial, like, my parents weren't financially stable that they can give me some tuition, they can get me into some coaching institute. And
Mhm.
because of that, year 2019 and year 2020, they were like very much difficult for me. And the problems I faced, they, affected me emotionally, they affected me mentally, physically, and my well-being was very much affected because of this depression thing. But when I introspected, and when I, contemplated on this thing, like why am I suffering from this depression, what is the root cause of the depression, then I got to know that I was chasing perfectionism. I was chasing perfectionism in each and everything, be it my academics, be it my extracurricular activities, like the household chores I do, or my looks. I wanted to be 10 on 10 in each and everything, and that was the root
Mm,
cause of my depression. And because of this, like my personal experience of suffering from depression, and at that time, I also I was keep like I was very much active in reading the news. So I was reading, and then I got to know that okay, there's an alarming societal rates among youth, and the reason behind these suicides is depression. Because in India, we know that we youngsters are covered up with so many, like we have so much pressure on us. We don't have just, a pressure from our family, but also peer pressure. We have overburdening academics, we have expectations which we need to fulfill, although we aren't obliged to, but we need to, like we are made feel that we need to fulfill those expectations. And then we are also, brought up in such a way that okay, we need to tackle each and every problem by ourselves. We have to be self
mm,
dependent in each and every term, and we prefer not taking help from anybody, and that is why we cover ourselves. We actually are, we face a lot of stress because of this. And this stress, some certain times, in certain cases, it turns into depression. Because I don't, but in my case, I never realized when this perfectionism, when this stage of perfectionism turned into depression. Similarly, I was able to relate I was able to relate to this problem of depression, that that's okay, the onset of depression, it is not very much, like it's, one cannot detect it in the initial phase. But if it is still there, if it is persistent, then I think it turns
mm,
worse, and it turns the life
mm,
of the person who's suffering from depression worse than anyone can think. So
mm,
yeah, so my personal experience of depression and the alarming societal rates of among youth, which among youth aged between 15 to 21. So these two were the driving forces that actually, motivated me to design a solution that can predict depression.
wow.
And
Mm,
therefore in 2019, so I can say that this is the most, I could say, most surprising irony of my life, that 2019 was the year when I was suffering from depression, but it was also the year when I designed this solution. And that year was one of the turning points of
landmark
my
year.
life.
Point,
Yeah, landmark
yes.
year. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, so landmark year. So in 2019, Intel, along with collaboration, along with like in collaboration with CBSE, Intel with in collaboration with CBSE, they launched a pilot program, AI for Youth. And
Okay.
this program was launched across India with the aim to make the youngsters, or the school students, more correctly, the school students AI ready, so that they
Mm,
can create AI based projects, and they can then create social impacts in their society, in their communities. And therefore
mm,
this program was launched in our school as well. Like it was there in our school as well, and it was a 6 months training. We got a six like the students who were in this program, they got 6 months comprehensive training. It was an intensive training. And in this training, we were, trained about what artificial intelligence is. Like we covered technical and non-technical aspects of artificial intelligence. We learned about what is artificial intelligence, what are its different domains, and what are the programming languages that we can use to, build AI solutions, and different algorithms, models that are in this AI. And definitely not only AI, but also some extent we also learned about machine learning. But apart from this, we also learned the non-technical aspect of artificial intelligence, like what are AI biases and like AI ethical issues. So
ethics,
these
yes.
were, yeah, so these were the things
Great.
that we covered up in this 6 months training. And then at the end of this training, at the end of this program, we were to design a solution that can solve a real life problem, that can solve a grave issue. And therefore
Okay.
I along with my team members, we decided to make a solution that can predict the onset of depression among school students. So we designed Happiness Guru, and this was not just me and my team members that were into this project. We were also like supervised by an AI expert. So we
Okay.
got an AI expert assigned for our project so that we can work under them. He can supervise us, and
Okay.
therefore we designed this project. And the project name is Happiness Guru.
I
So
love the name. Wow, beautiful. Yeah.
yes, even I love the name. Like when we were deciding on what name should we keep, then Happiness Guru was the thing that come to like.
All right.
It was decided, like it was gradually decided. Okay, we'll keep the name of the project Happiness Guru, and for this project, if I tell like I would like to tell you the working of this project, because the working is I mean it is very fascinating to me. So the working of this project is divided into three phases. The very first phase is facial recognition. So at the very first phase, at the step one, if I can say, the model, the model that we are using, the tool that we are like the AI, this AI model detects your facial expression. It basically it assess your facial expression, and then it decides on your current mood, like what's your current mood. So it considers current mood. Okay, and how does it do that? It basically assess your facial expressions, and then it decides what's your current mood, whether you are happy, you're neutral, you're sad, or you're angry.
Okay. Okay.
And then there is step 2. So in step 2 there are 9 objective questions that the user has to answer. So these objective questions contain a certain kind of situation, and the user has to select any one of the options. And while selecting any one of the options, they have to keep in mind how relevant that the situation that is mentioned in the question is to them. Like if you
Mm,
strongly agree with the situation, if that situation happens in your life very frequently, rarely. So
mm.
there's a scale
Got it.
basically. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have
Got
5 options in that. And then on the basis of step 1 and step 2, a score is basically generated. And if
it.
this score
Mm,
is below the threshold score that we have set, then
mm.
the user is uh,
Okay.
classified as not
Okay.
depressed, like yeah, perfectly, like
Amazing.
not perfectly, but yeah, like they are healthy in terms of their mental health. And if this score is more than the threshold value, the threshold score, then the user is taken to the last step of this of the model. And that step consists of 4 descriptive questions. So the 4 descriptive questions are like, it's basically a platform. These 4 descriptive questions provide the user with the platform where they can vent out their feelings in whatever
Mm,
way they want. Like even
mm.
if they have spelling errors in their whatever they're writing, if there is occasional use of regional words, then also the model will predict whether a person that the user is depressed or not. So then basically the answers that we have given to the model in the last step, on the basis of this answer, the model takes the keywords from these answers. It basically takes some keywords and then it uses SVM. SVM is basically a machine learning algorithm. That SVM stands for support vector machine. Then this SVM, which is an algorithm, which is a machine learning algorithm, it classifies the inputs that have been given by the user into different classes. And if
All
that
right.
class lie in that falls into the depressed one, then the user is then the user gets to know that okay, no, user doesn't get to know,
Wow.
but yes, user doesn't
Th-
get to know that he is depressed, but but his case is referred to the concerned guardians
Okay.
or
Okay.
authority.
Got it. Got it.
Yes,
Got it. Lovely.
yes. So
Um,
this is how the model predicts whether a person is depressed or not.
Yes, Tina, it's so amazing. We could go on talking about this, but we are already down 18 minutes and we have very few
Yeah.
minutes left to know more about this. But this is so fascinating. I think one more episode we need to do with you to understand. This is really good. And let me just quickly take you on to the Karam Fellowship. So you are a fellowship, Karam Trust Fellowship student who has got scholarship to study in Delhi University in computer science. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I was reading about the trust and about the work Radhika ji and Kartik Bharatram is doing, and it's so amazing to give opportunity to girls, deserving girls who are not, who don't have the resources to pursue further education, to make them job ready, to break the gender bias. I'm so amazed at this trust. So what has this trust done to you, and why is it so important that they chose these girls, and how lucky or how privileged you feel that you are part of this fellowship? Very quickly, I need to have this time to ask some more
Okay, yeah,
questions.
sure. So getting into Karam Fellowship for young Indian women is basically the most beautiful turning point of my life. When I got into this
um,
fellowship, I learned this art of self acceptance. I started accepting myself. because this fellowship not only enables educational aspirations of the selected fellows through financial support, mentoring, and life skills training, but they also create a ecosystem for every fellow where they can grow in on their pace. Like
Wow.
every individual has their own pace of growth. So this fellowship is, ensures that the ecosystem ensures that there's an ecosystem where every fellow can grow at their pace, where every fellow can shine with their own light and with their own brightness. And
And I think
this
especially it's for the girls, right? It's only for
yeah
the girls. Yeah.
yeah, it's for young girls, brilliant girls who are very brilliant, who are very capable, but unfortunately they are underprivileged, who need support. So therefore, to enable their educational journeys, this fellowship
Yeah.
this fellowship
I love
was founded.
their
Yes, please.
tagline, girls with dreams to women with vision. So
Yes.
this is something which, as a woman, as a teacher, as somebody who is dealing with youth, it's so beautiful to see this. I was reading a lot, and I'm so happy that through you I came to know about this initiative, and I'm think that I will be part of this initiative wherever I can. So thank you for bringing this to us. So now my question is, about to know Tina well. Tina, who is your role model, and why do you want to become an IS officer? Do you have any role model you have set who inspires you to become an IS officer, or anybody else? Maybe from somebody whom you have not met, or maybe you have met. I don't know. Just tell me who is your role model and why.
Yeah, so professionally, my role model is Radhika Bharatram ma'am. Like she is
Okay.
the one who she's the founder of Karam Fellowship, and Radhika Bharatram ma'am is like she personifies compassion, strength, wisdom, and love. She has so much of love. She has so much of love in hers, like in herself for others. She's so much compassionate towards everyone, and her energy is so contagious. So
Yeah.
basically, she is a phenomenal lady. She's a philanthropist, and she's a phenomenal lady. Her work, her values, her skills, and whatever her qualities that she exhibit in her actions, everything is so admirable. I always look up to her whenever somebody talks about a strong, wise, resilient woman. Then she is the first person who comes to my mind.
Epitome.
And
Yes.
yeah, and I feel privileged, and not privileged, but I feel blessed to have her in my life and to get her guidance. She always encourages me to be to be authentic self, like to be as authentic as you can, and to value integrity over any other thing. I have built some very important values in my life, and it is because of Radhika Bharatram ma'am, and also because of the Karam Fellowship, the Environment Fellowship provides us.
This is so beautiful.
So
The way you have described her and the way you have learned, the values which you have learned is simply amazing. And I wish you grow with these values and become a woman of substance like her. So I'm sure she is a great inspiration. Now, coming to something, you said you read a lot of books. So, what books, what podcasts, the movies, or any inspiration for the youth coming from you? Any books which you want to suggest? Because I think this is the segment we all look up to. Even I want to know what Tina reads, and anything about any movie, any inspiration.
yeah, so if I talk about my favorite book, it is Little Women by Lewis May Alcott.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so
Love.
that book basically revolves around the story of four March sisters and their
Yes.
parents and their neighbors. And this story is such a beautiful example of how we can live up to the best, how we can live our life to the fullest, even when life is full of trials and tribulations, even when there are adverse times in our life and there are setbacks of life, like there are own setbacks of life. Then also we can still live with that happiness, with that shine, with that kindness in us. So this book is a beautiful example of that. Another book that I would like to recommend everyone is Atomic Habits. It's a self-help book,
Oh,
and
yes.
yeah, this
Yes.
book it's
Amazing.
very subtle in it's
Very
describing the
doable
way.
step.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
we can.
doable, exactly. Yeah, it's very doable, and the scientific ways that they have given to develop a particular habit is wonderful. It's very much it's very much applicable as well. So
Correct.
these two books I have, like, they are my favorite books till now. And if I talk about my movie, so Interstellar is my favorite movie. And Interstellar is the message of the Interstellar is what actually captivate. It's what actually fascinates me a lot. So the message of the Interstellar movie is that love transcends all dimensions. Love is that one thing that will transcend all dimension. Like right now we are living in a three-dimensional space, but when there will be more dimensions discovered, love will still be there, and that is the only thing that will go from one life to another life to another life. Like love is like it's
Yeah, the
everywhere.
continuity. Yeah, it is the chain which is never broken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's very thought-provoking movie, I must say.
very thought provoking. It was difficult. I had to see it twice to understand it better. It was a little bit
Yeah.
more challenging for
Yes.
non-techies. Okay, but
Scientifically, it is. Yeah.
yeah, I find it very fascinating, Tina. You are a bundle of contradicting thought process. You are a, computer science student and you read literature. You are the whole package. It's the best of the world. You are a STEM student also, and you are into literature. You are into finer things of life. It's so beautiful to see this. Um, Another question I would like to ask is, if Tina has to write a book today on her life, what would be the title of the book?
I've all like many a times this question has been like put up to me, and I always say the
Okay.
book will be the breakthrough because my life
Oh,
has been full of discoveries. So it will be
okay.
breakthrough,
Lovely,
the
lovely.
breakthrough.
All
Yeah.
right. Take this question. It's an interesting question, and I hope to see an interesting answer because the way you are answering. Supposing you are made the prime minister of a country today, and you choose to have three cabinet ministers, three people to guide you anywhere from around the world, anybody, any age group. Who are those three people going to be to assist you?
Okay, that's a difficult question to answer, and I have to think a lot before answering this question because okay, so I can answer that the very first person that I will consider, it is necessary that person to be alive.
No, yeah, no, no,
I
anybody who
mean,
you not
yes.
anybody.
So the first person would be Mother Teresa. Her,
Oh,
yeah, her
okay, okay.
approach to live the life
Wow,
and yeah, her values and her teachings,
correct.
they
Next.
are like
Yes,
they are like holy things to me. So Mother
yes,
Teresa would be the first one, and then Kiran Bedi. She is also my role model. Yeah, the first women IPS officer and a
yes,
former lieutenant governor.
yes.
So
Come on.
Kiran
And
Bedi,
third
yeah,
one.
she is a woman of strength and vigor, and that's why I consider her. And the last
Correct.
one would be, I'm like I could say I'm a great devotee of Krishna. So I think Krishna will be
Okay,
the last one
okay,
because
okay.
he is
Oh,
best. He's the best in
oh
everything. He's
my
the best
God.
motivational speaker, best musician, best everything. Like so, yeah,
Everything started
Krishna
with
can
Lord
be.
Krishna. Yes.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
think a better answer can be there, and I need to think on this. I will
No, no, no,
definitely
that's
think on
okay.
this.
I wanted, no, there's no thinking that this comes very beautifully if you give it instantaneous answer. I have never, this is my, I think, this is my 20th interview. I've never heard these fascinating answers before. Mother Teresa, Kiran Bedi, and Lord Krishna.
Lord
Who needs
Krishna.
anybody else if you have Lord Krishna to
Yeah,
give you guidance? I'm super excited to hear
definitely.
this answer. Okay, we just have last 2 minutes. I would love,
Over again.
Tina, to end this with a particular song which inspires you, maybe, and which you like to end this. This time went so fast, and I have a lot more questions with you. But let's see if we can do another show with you. But today we will end it with a song from you.
Okay, so this is my favorite song, and its name is Kabhi Kabhi Aditi. So it goes
Okay.
like this. Yeah, let me prepare.
I love the song.
कभी कभी अदिति जिंदगी में यूं ही कोई अपना लगता है कभी कभी अदिति वो बिछड़ जाए तो एक सपना लगता है ऐसे में कोई कैसे अपने आंसुओं को बहने से रोके और कैसे कोई सोच ले everything's gonna be okay. That's it. I'm very
Wow,
bad at singing.
you are not bad at all. You are so melodious, and again, you are one quirky person. You have such quirk tastes. This song again reflects so much about a girl finding her way into love, into relationship, and everything goes into this sweet little song. Wow, lovely. Um, Thank you so much for being on this channel, Say Something with Mads. And I'm sure those who are listening, I have Anukriti Sahu, your sister, I think. or and yeah, she's saying she has commented on this, and I'm sure people who are listening will get so inspired by your journey, and I wish a lot of good life ahead, and I want to be see you as a very successful IS officer and a good human being that you are. So I hope to meet you in person when I'm in India. Thank you so much for being here
Thank you so
today.
much, ma'am, for having me. Thank you so much. It was an honor and a really memorable experience for me. Thank you so much.